Now let's go back to the right towards the tram station and look for an opening at the top. Here we will find another grub, but we needed the monarch wings in order to reach it. There is a very easy platforming challenge we need to pass in order to reach the grub in the top left corner of the room. Now we can go back down and continue right all the way past the palace grounds and in the stack station. We can use the super dash here and keep it going as far as we can. I cut it short in order to save on the bench. We can restart the super dash from this spot. Now we can just climb to the exit on the right and again use the super dash to reach the stack station. Here is the entrance to the White Palace, but we can't go in yet. Past this wall is the stack station. Pay the toll machine to unlock the station, and don't forget there's a bench on the right side of the stack gate. As you can see, I forgot to unlock the bench, but we'll remedy this later. For now, let's go back to Dirtmouth and visit Sly and Bretta. We can finally give Sly his shopkeeper key and gain access to his entire inventory. The only thing we need from him right now is the elegant key, so let's buy it. Now let's go check Bretta's hut and obtain the mask shard she keeps there. I'm sure she would be happy to give it to us, considering we saved her. We are done with Dirtmouth for now. Let's go visit Relic Seeker Lamb and sell our stuff. Since we've already obtained the Hallownest seal from above the King Station, we can simply warp to the tall bench near the Soul Sanctum and drop down to Lamb. This was actually the wrong bench, but it's not much different in terms of distance. I'm not sure if it's not actually faster. You could save a couple of seconds if you start charging the super dash while the elevator is going down and activating it before reaching the bottom. This way you could fly through the entirety of the open space. We've reached Lamb, so let's sell everything.
Morisan Gian. Velmi Artred. Gachael Liasok. Velmi Artred. Velmi Artred. Gachael Liasok.
We should now go to the nailsmith and get our next nail upgrade. Unfortunately, there's no convenient place you could start your super dash from, but you could still cover most of the distance with 3 or 4 super dashes. And in this room, we'll use the wall to start the super dash and get straight to the nailsmith. Let's give him the pale orange geo and let's have our nail further upgraded. Now we can save quit and then warp to the bench I intended to earlier. This time we need to go to the Soul Sanctum in order to have our Vengeful Spirit spell upgraded to Shade Soul. And since we can afford to, let's put some more points in resilience. Since there's no difference in the stats between 5 and 6 points of resilience, I really should have placed 1 point in dexterity instead. Now let's go to the Soul Sanctum. In order to access the part where the upgrade is, we need to use the elegant key we bought from Sly. This area is very short, with a single Soul Warrior mini-boss protecting the spell. You can easily deal with him. After killing him, let's go upstairs and get our upgrade. We can now open the door to the right and get back to the bench. From there we should warp to the hidden station and then take the tram to Kingdom's Edge. Or at least that was my intention, but unfortunately I forgot I didn't sit on the bench in the hidden station. Which is why I should have warped to another station and then take the stack to the ancient basin. But in the end I decided to go the slowest possible route. Warp to the other bench in the ancient basin and then walk all the way to the bench in hidden station. To be fair, it's not that much slower than taking the stack, but still. And now we can finally go to the tram. Okay, so after entering the tram, we need to use the right button again. This will take us to Kingdom's Edge. Once here, let's go a bit to the right until we reach a couple of hivelings. They are guarding the secret entrance to the hive. The proper way to break the wall blocking the entrance is by using the Shade Soul. You could do what I tried and use your nail to break it, but you'd have to have insanely good reflexes in order to pull it off without dying multiple times. In any case, we now have access to the hive, so let's enter it. Our first goal here, as usual, is to find a bench. The only one in the hive is right below us, so let's start by going right and continue until we can drop down. And then it's all the way to the left. The Husk Hive are quite annoying to deal with, because not only do they run when they see you, but when they die they explode in a swarm of hivelings. That's not much of a problem as long as they're alone, but if there's a hive soldier or a guardian nearby, it complicates the situation. So here's the drop, and now we need to go left. after getting this geostone, of course. The homing ability of the Hive soldiers is insane. Best tactic would be to wait until after you dodge their attack and kill them while they are stuck. Now break the bench out of this honey wax, I guess, and use it. Next we need to start going right until we reach a whispering root, which we will activate. Okay, so here's the route. You may want to clear the area from enemies before activating it, since trying to keep track of the orbs while dealing with the Hive soldiers is quite annoying, but it's up to you. Once we finish collecting the orbs, it's time to save another grub. He's quite far away from here, but let's continue left into the next room. Here we'll have to climb all the way to the top exit. Be careful, since there are Hive Guardians as well as soldiers in this room. The only viable tactic for dealing with the Guardians I found is to try to get them stuck between indestructible obstacles. If you can't do that, the only other thing left is to be patient and slowly chip their health while they're not dive bombing you. It's very easy to die to them, especially if there's more than one to deal with. You may also just skip them entirely and continue to the grub. After exiting through the top, we need to continue climbing and then start heading right until we reach the next room. There are a couple of Hive soldiers and a guardian here, so the room is much more manageable and should not be too difficult to kill them all. Regardless of whether you decide to fight them or not, you should continue going up. Okay, so in this room there's an opening in the ceiling to the right. In order to reach it, we have to super dash either from the left or right. It doesn't matter much, but I prefer first clearing the space around it from bees and collecting the geostones. Sticking to the right wall as a starting point for the super dash is easier in my opinion, since you can better judge the height. Once we've made the jump, we can now go all the way to the right while breaking the barrier and finally free the grub. Our next target is a mask shard. Getting it is a bit tricky, since it's behind a wall that can only be destroyed by a Hive Guardian's charge attack. Which is why we need to lure one to the bottom left corner of the room and try to bait an attack around that breakable wall. His hitbox is quite generous, so it shouldn't be too difficult. My advice is to clear the area from other bees. You don't need the extra distractions. There we go. After getting the mask shard, we should go further to the left and open the shortcuts to the western part of the hive. In any case, it's time to face the boss of this area. Let's finish off those two guardians and continue right. Since I forgot to do it earlier, I'll just quickly open the shortcut I mentioned. Now let's super dash to the boss. That was some top-notch intercept from the Hive Link. Just... mwah. Well, let's continue right. Let's break those barriers and enter the boss arena. The Hive Knight is not a difficult boss in vanilla either, but with these mods and our current upgrades, he'll simply melt. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now let's go a bit further to the right and then down so we can get the Hive Blood charm. Okay, I was a bit too quick here and save quitted forgetting I didn't speak with the queen. For completion's sake, I went back to the boss arena to talk to her. And now all that's left to do in the hive is to free 2 more grubs. For the first one, we need to go all the way to the left and open the second exit from the hive to Kingdom's Edge. Once we open it, we need to start climbing up until we reach the exit to the Royal Waterways. Since we're here anyway, we might as well collect a couple of geo votes. Also, the buff-wise drop a decent amount of geo, and you might need to kill them for the Hunter's Journal entry anyway. Anyway, eventually we'll get to the hole in the top, which will lead us to a part of the royal waterways that is only accessible through here. At least until we decide to open the shortcut to the rest of the waterways, of course. As you can see, there's a super dash indicator here. What we need to do is similar to what we did in order to reach the previous group. Super dash, then cancel it and double jump to reach the ledge above. Though to be fair, you don't even have to super dash, just swimming there and double jumping would have done the trick. For the final group in this area, we need to go right until we reach the shortcut to the rest of Kingdom's Edge. Just before it, there's a crumbling floor we can crush with a desolate dive. Continuing through, it will lead us back into the hive where the final group is waiting for us. Let's deal with this swarm of hivelings and save that group. And with that, we're officially done with the hive and don't have to ever come back to it. Next we'll head through the shortcut we just opened into the rest of Kingdom's Edge. As usual, when entering a new area, let's go find Cornifer and get his map. He's located in a tunnel halfway through the left wall. It's a bit difficult to see it, but his humming and the notes he's left should be enough to figure it out. And now it's time to start our exploration of Kingdom's Edge. Hey guys! I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to see more from this game, you can check out my playlist over there. If you like my content, please press the like button, and if you have any comments, opinions or suggestions, I would love to hear from you in the comment section. Thank you for spending your time with me and hope to see you again next time. Until then, have a good one.